would have gone into the second tier. And did that come off Van de Ven once more? Chelsea all of a sudden have come to life, and at the same time, simultaneously, the rest of the Tottenham backline gone to bed. And that clearance from Van de Ven, I don't think he thought that Cole Palmer was coming through, but he was there. Van de Ven played that away, skidding towards the goal line, hooked it away, back into play, and Palmer was at the right post, and usually would be a dead certainty to put that away, but it came through from Van de Ven's boot onto Palmer's in a flash, and off there it just bounced over the bar. There was no real opportunity for Palmer to control his effort. It wasn't an effort on goal, it was more of a case of sticking your foot out and hoping for the best, and this time it was the best possible outcome for Tottenham as they go down the left through Van de Ven once more. He found the run of Kulusevski. There's a lot of tight spaces there. Kulusevski will get it back. That was well done by Son. Now a bit of width here for Brendan Johnson, who comes towards Cucurella, strikes it, and the Spaniard blocked it superbly. It'll go out back out to the touchline, retrieved by Johnson. Now it's Porro in amongst the action with Mudryk and Caicedo. It might go through, all the way through nearly, for Richarlison, played away by Badiashile, and it's a bit frantic in both backlines right now. Another throw for Tottenham. Pedro Porro a few paces away from that right corner flag. This time to come off Caicedo once more. We throw 2.0, same position. Who can strike first? It should have been Chelsea, you would think. If you saw that action, I recommend to go and see the highlights later as Kulusevski into the box. It's a desperate clearance from Cole Palmer in tandem with Jackson. Pedro Porro once more. It's back for Romero. So into the 9th minute, the game's gone. And Cucurella got a touch on that. It's hacked away once more by Badiashile. It really is a situation where the midfields are not moving quickly enough to shut down who's running down the flanks. Everyone's staying quite narrow now, and again it's Johnson in from the right side. Wants to chip it into the back post. It'll float all the way through for a goal kick across past the left post, and Alfie Gilchrist will be growing in confidence with every second passing. So Johnson chipping that from the corner of the box on the right side, and trying to get as much lift on that as possible. It didn't have the drop required. Now a goal kick for Georgi Petrovic, Serbian goalkeeper, in his first season with Chelsea from New England. Started out with Serbian club Čukarički. It's his 19th Premier League appearance. From that, he's gone out to the left, and then it's put forward, taken by Emerson, and it's harmless by the West Londoners, we'll call them, against the North Londoners. One of the epic derbies of the English capital. Slowed down by Chalobah. Caicedo can get it square. Gilchrist again. It's Caicedo that made the run forward. Jackson gets into the middle. It's a hopeful ball, and Romero can find Bissouma. Still struggling to get it away. If it wasn't for the good work of Heung-min Son, who's their top goal scorer for the season with 16, Richarlison with 10, Kulusevski with 6. For Chelsea, it's 20 from Cole Palmer, who'd never scored in the Premier League with Manchester City. Big transition for him, and what a season. He should force his way into Southgate's squad, if not the starting 11 for Euro 2024. And Tottenham love coming down this right side. Porro with the ball at feet, 20 yards away from the goal line. Back in centrally, Kulusevski with his back to goal. Looks for Van de Ven. Let's get the feeling he's going to be heavily involved throughout this one. As Sun plays it to the byline, in from the left. There's a tug on the shirt, a dive, or simulation, or a foul, one or the other. And Madueke is the player in question, but there's a free kick going Chelsea's way. And now they start to question the referee, Robert Jones. Of course they do. There was minimal contact, if any, but as soon as Emerson felt it, he went down, sent through by Son. And it was Madueke, 22-year-old English right-sided player. Good 4-year spell at PSV. Scored against Aston Villa. Second year. In fact, when you look through these sides, Chelsea, don't think there's a player out there that's been there in his starting 11 beyond probably 3 years. So that is where they're at. They're transcending from quite a poor performing club to mid-table. 9th place at the moment. A win here would do them good up into 8th and perhaps push for Europa League. I must remind you, about 15 minutes time our coverage starts in that competition, and also the Europa Conference League. Villa, Olympiacos, Fiorentina playing Club Brugge. It's only Villa and Olympiacos covered there on Flash Score, and Europa League both games covered. Roma, Bayer Leverkusen, Marseille at home to Atalanta. It's a goal kick for Chelsea, and they progress with some simple passes. Now it's Cucurella, the inverted fullback, who's gone all the way to just inside Gilchrist, so providing a right midfield option. Leaves a lot of space to cover for Mudryk. He came back deep and he's lost out here. That was beautifully done by Porro, who stalked him. And then, just as good was Badiashile. Telegraph pass, and Chelsea can come through the centre circle. Now it's been a bit sloppy. Now Palmer down the right side with Madueke, comes up towards Emerson. They're back in big numbers in white shirts, the Lily Whites, and Gilchrist can square this up 40 yards away. Everyone in the back line getting a touch. Mudryk sent to get maximum width out on the left. Porro, just ball watching, in for Jackson. Made the option. There's nobody central though. Cucurella is probably the highest up in a central position. Now Jackson towards a penalty spot, and Palmer needs to find a friend. Looked up, thought about the cross, doesn't want to go there. It's 29 goal involvements in the Premier League. It's just his first year at Chelsea. That's probably their best signing, you would say, despite all the hundreds of millions of pounds. It's Cole Palmer. A free kick, Chelsea. Cucurella takes. It's just inside the attacking half. Out to Madueke. Palmer makes the option. Immediately knew he had 3 to beat, so he slowed it down. 360 turn. Still with it from Gilchrist. All the way back to Trevor Chalobah. He's a youth player from his club, 3rd year since getting back from Lorient. Had a spell with Huddersfield. Madueke again. It's Caicedo. There's a few ex-Brighton players here playing against each other. There's Mudryk, beautiful ball in. Cucurella made the run into the left half space. Across in cover defence is Mickey van der Ven, who is probably Tottenham's best player so far. So a corner kick, Chelsea. This will come in from the left side, but Cucurella is doing a lot of running off the ball, trying to redeem his reputation after a sub-standard stint at Chelsea since leaving Brighton for 65 million euros. All the transfers, those valuations are there on the Flash Score app for those who want to see those. Now Vicario getting a talking to from Robert Jones. Vicario's English is quite good. He's wearing the green from head to toe. Gallagher, as usual, trying to get in his face. Marked well by Son. Vicario came towards the near post. Somehow it's deviated over for a clearance from Pape Sarr. Vicario was unsighted. I think he wants more clarification between his defenders trying to do. It was Richarlison that blocked Vicario from getting there, and I think those comments were directed at the Tottenham striker. So another corner coming in from the opposite side. This will come in from the right. Quarter of an hour gone. Joe Porro getting a little shove from his own goalkeeper just to give him some space. He didn't come out this time. As well done by Tottenham to get it clear to the halfway line. A couple of shabby corners taken by Chelsea. Both sides being fairly relentless though. It's a high line as usual from Postecoglou's men, and Richarlison has taken one. Goes to the chest. He'll just shrug this off and jog back into his position. He's won a free kick for his side. Let's take a look at those benches and who's missing. So out for Tottenham: Davis, Forster, Sessegnon, Solomon, Udogie and Werner, or Udogie as they say in England. Italian commentators call him Udogie. Chilwell, Chukwuemeka, Colwill, Disasi, Fernandez, Fofana, Gusto, James, Lavia and Nkunku, Sanchez, Silva, Sterling, Hugo Chukwu. No, I'm not naming the Chelsea 11. Those are the players that are not available for Pochettino this evening. And Pape Sarr, that's well done by Gallagher, got his toe in there, and Caicedo helped out by Chalobah. Madueke out on the left side of midfield at the moment. Everyone just sprayed around. No one committed to where they're named in their formations, as long as they're filling the space. And that's the Pep Guardiola strategy, isn't it? The philosophy. Positional play. Mudryk, Cucurella. Ball played down the left flank. It's there in the channel for Jackson to run onto. Then he slows up towards Van de Ven, waits for support, flicks it onto Cucurella across. The shot might come here from Gilchrist, who ran onto it and watched it all the way onto his right boot, but it's sailed a little high. Probably got a little excited. I think I would have if I saw the ball rolling through. And came all the way across from the left on the edge of the box. It required a bit of power behind it, so Gilchrist given a full license to go for it from there. Just bypassed Cole Palmer. Gilchrist probably isn't the player you want to be on that kind of shot, but he has scored before. So you would prefer the likes of Palmer, Madueke out there. Well done by Jackson to use Cucurella once more. Now it's Kulusevski. Ball into space between the lines, away from Gallagher's Porro. Then the ball across for Richarlison. That is wonderful from Georgi Petrovic. Chelsea can't clear their line. It'll come back with Bissouma. And the Malian out to Johnson. He's been fairly quiet. Porro. Chelsea trying to push up out of their low block. Good compact shape though. Pape Sarr out to the left. Son. Kulusevski back heel for Son. Tried to toe poke it for Royale. It's cleaned up, and now it's Cole Palmer sent on a mission. Mission impossible. Across comes Sarr. Flings it into touch. Quick throw. Back to Gilchrist. 19th minute of the game at 0-0. English Premier League. It's a catch-up game for both of these sides. So looking at the benches provided, Chelsea in possession. Quick first time passing. But now it's Johnson and Richarlison heaping a bit of pressure on Chalobah. Gilchrist gets round. They are really stretching it. Madueke about to attack Royale. Taking it to the byline. Good burst of pace. Squared it up, but in there was Romero, and it sails out of play once more. It'll be a throw from the right side of the pitch, about 6-7 yards back from the flag. So Austin, Bentancur, Dragusin, Gil, Højbjerg, Lo Celso, Maddison, Moore and Skip on the bench for Tottenham Hotspur. Now Caicedo's taken a knock here. He really is wailing as he feels around at his right ankle. So a stoppage in play. We'll go through Chelsea's bench with Achiampong, Bettinelli, Cazorla, Castledine, Washington, Dyer, Sturge, Turainen and Tyrick. So a couple of hopefuls there that have never played, Tyrick included. Also Zach Sturge is there, a defender. So a free kick out for Chelsea on this right flank. It won't be the throw. It's a much better position to take it back about 15 yards. Still, about half a dozen in from the right touchline, about 30 back from the goal line let's see what they can do here. Chalobah, Jackson, Cucurella, Gilchrist and Madueke all pushing there with Badiashile far out on the left. It might make it all the way to him. Indeed it does. Came off Van der Ven. Badiashile was a bit casual and took his time. Good block by Johnson. Sends it into touch. Chelsea throw. Again, about 30 back from the left flag this time. So of those on the bench, you would expect a couple of new faces out there this evening, but David Washington is the reserve striker if Jackson, something happens to him. There's Mudryk through the legs of Potter. Away he goes. It's the accelerator. He's got Jackson and also Gallagher. Takes it himself, though. It's a bit selfish, but it works out. Came back off Potter into the 6-yard box. He goes and tried to get it across for Jackson, who was waiting. It would have been a solo goal of perfection, you would say, but still a little selfish, a little lucky, because Romero's clearance went into Potter, back to the advantage of Mudryk, ran into the 6-yard box on the left side of goal. His final touch was weak. From the goal kick, it's been taken short. Slow progression. Bissouma changes direction, does the U-turn. Van der Ven for Pape Sarr. A change in midfield. So Cazadei be one of the favourites off the bench to get a run, the Italian. And he won't be in contention for a Euro 2024 spot, but definitely for the Azzurini. They call them the Italian under-21s. He's one of their pivotal players. Played in the under-20 World Cup last year. As Tottenham come forward with Richarlison. And there were 3 or 4 spins, 180 spins in that passage of play. Tottenham making 3 or 4 metres each time. Eventually, Chelsea get a free kick just on the edge of their box. Centre of the pitch. Cucurella marshalling the troops out to the right side. And Gilchrist. Madueke back to Alfie Gilchrist. It's just game number 10, his second start in the Premier League. Has 1 goal, and it's just his first year in the seniors. 4 more games in the FA Cup, 2 in the Carabao. It's a wonderful switch, 55 metres. The pass hit to Madueke, edge of the box. Wants to hit it on his left, goes around Bissouma, hits it! And Vicario was lunging, but didn't need to make the save. It goes over the top left corner. But that is a statement of intent there from Noni Madueke. You have to give some credit here to Cole Palmer, who took the attentions of Van der Ven and Bissouma away. It allowed Madueke to take it centrally around Sarr. Just needed to keep it about a foot lower. And that would have been 1-0 for Chelsea. It's again taken by Vicario short. Van der Ven. It'll work out for him. Rode the challenge of Palmer. Now Bissouma. Vicario. Madueke will win a free kick, centre pitch. About 35 yards away from Vicario's goal. Good spell of pressure here from Chelsea. The tempo of the game with them. Definitely in the last 10 minutes. And Postecoglou is starting to get a little furious here. Could lose their 3rd game straight. So they're going to put everyone into the box. Gallagher standing over it. 24th minute. Still 0-0 at Stamford Bridge, but Chelsea in the ascendancy. Cole Palmer, the other option to send this in. There will be Gallagher. Good delivery. The header's there! And it beats Vicario across the face of goal. And it is Trevor Chalobah. He goes out to the corner flag to celebrate. And that is his first goal in this season's Premier League. What a moment for him. And I was just saying at the top of the broadcast, Chelsea's defenders haven't contributed much, and that's what they need to get up the table. Well, they have a goal from their centre half. Trevor Chalobah. That is a beautifully guided header. Cross and up and over from about 12 yards, you'd say. It's all about that delivery from Gallagher. No one went with Chalobah. Eventually Emerson arrived, but he was out-jumped. didn't even know that Chalobah was coming from behind, and he has put that past Vicario. That is a header of immense quality. Delivery from Gallagher was a super one, and with that, Chalobah also gets his first goal since the 2021-22 season. So a big moment for him. He did score in the Champions League in that same season, and since then has declined a little when it comes to goals. They're checking it for a possible offside, so Postecoglou might want to hold his breath. Now I think that given Van de Ven's position in the freeze frame that VAR provided, it looks as though the number 14, that's Chalobah, looks like he's well behind Van de Ven and also Emerson. And I'd have to say even Johnson. The only thing I can see Tottenham protesting is the contact. Johnson and no, definitely that's that's onside. Surely can't be ruled out unless they're saying that Jackson impeded Romero. He's well away, but it was Cucurella on Johnson, just shielding Johnson off the ball, and that's what allowed Chalobah to have that room. So checking for the possible foul. That's probably a more credible VAR check. So was Johnson impeded? Everyone standing on the white line, the edge of the box. Charging in was Chalobah, and he was unmarked. And it could be down to this from Cucurella, just putting his body in the way of Johnson. Now, did he use his arms? Because that's the big question for Robert Jones and the Hawkeye side. The goal stands. He points to the spot, Mr. Jones, and Chalobah celebrates. It's his first goal in 3 years. So, big moment for him. Big moment for Chelsea. The complexion of their season starting to change, up to 51 points with the current standings. They've only won 13 this season from 33 coming into this. 11 losses. Tottenham, their coach, Postecoglou, well, he is furious, to say the least. I think he felt that goal was coming. It's going by how animated he was when they gave away that foul. Cucurella, definitely it was intentional to block the run of Johnson, but if you don't use your arms, and he's well off the ball, and that's what the referees have obviously adjudicated, and from here all to do for Tottenham to get something before half time. They've looked okay in small portions of this game, and now Jackson, the back heel for Cucurella, as the run of Mudryk, wants to use the pace of the Ukrainian. Well past Romero, cross comes Van de Ven once more. The cutback deviated off the Dutch defender through to Vicario. The throw, that's been brought down by Gallagher, stood in the way of Pedro Porro, takes it out to the left touchline. It's all Chelsea right now. They're, excuse the pun, spurred on by those here in attendance. The Blues faithful. Now Chalobah, the goal scorer, out to the right wing for Madueke. Palmer into the right half space, made the run, didn't receive. It's a sensible approach from Pochettino now. He knows he's got limited resources on the bench. It's a poor pass from Mudryk, comes off Porro, out for a Chelsea throw. Everything going their way right now. How long will that continue, that momentum though? Tottenham and no ordinary club. They've definitely got firepower up forward. They've got a little bit on the bench. Maddison's there. Now, the forward pass. It's a case where that's Pape Sarr's clipped the heels of Gallagher. So Cucurella to take, and he steers it over to the right wing. That's pinpoint, and Madueke arrives, wants to take on the man. Around Emerson he goes again to the byline, and slipped and stumbled, and luckily for Spurs, that is a goal kick. It's been a good game so far. Not incredible by any stretch, but considering what's on the line, a lot of pressure. A few passes going straight into the opponent, but now it's an easy ball forward. This is Chelsea now reeling. Johnson into the box. Cucurella getting there. The cross comes. It's deflected. Richarlison shoved his opponent. I think that was Gilchrist that went flying. Cucurella settles it down. Out comes Caicedo. And they will mount once again. Cole Palmer. Still in their defensive half, though. Right side of the pitch for Chelsea. When Palmer's got the ball, they seem to back away, knowing that it's an almost impossible mission to get it off him. Silky kind of midfielder. They've got a lot of good players coming through. You'd think Chelsea in a couple of years will be a much better side if they can keep this, the nucleus of their side, together and then add to it without spending another £500 million. I found out it's unnecessary to do so. De Zerbi and Brighton have proven that. A season where the biggest win was over Aston Villa 4-0. Biggest loss also by the same scoreline for Tottenham. Got to the fourth round of the FA Cup, the second round of the Carabao. Still defending. It's a high press from them. Kulusevski on Caicedo. Cucurella is playing that role wonderfully well this evening. He's come off left back and sitting just in front of the back two. It's a lopsided looking formation from Pochettino. Cucurella took on from behind there. Pape Sarr got away with it. Advantage played. Now Palmer can make the run. Back is Bissouma. Palmer goes inside. Now the switch comes, and Mudryk into the box. Goes for the top corner, and that was a whisker wide. That was beautiful. The transition from the left foot onto the right, and he went for the right top corner, and Vicario was struggling. He wouldn't have got there. And it goes... It's a lick of paint, you'd think, between the ball and that right post as it glides past. It was... nice shape on the ball. Needed more curl. Nine shots from Chelsea to 1 from Tottenham as the Blues come again. Palmer got a foot to the ball. It went central, but Tottenham had the numbers. Now Richarlison gets a shove. Chalobah the culprit. Richarlison will leave it. Still in the Tottenham defensive half left side. They've all come forward. A bit of relief for Postecoglou. Season starting to peter out a bit. To their advantage. They have 4 games after this one. It's Liverpool away, Burnley at home, City at home, and Sheffield United away. So they'll finish up on match day 38. So not much chance of them making the top 4, but England unlikely to get the 5th Champions League spot. It's going to Germany, you'd think, considering Dortmund got a valuable win over PSG. It's probably all they needed to get through. Serie A already securing that 2 or 3 weeks ago. They've still got 3 sides in European competition to confirm it. If any of them win tonight, well, you'd think they would have someone in a European final. It's been brilliant from the British sides, the English in particular, with the last 5 Champions League finals. Well, they've had 5 English sides in the last 7 finals. Nobody from England in the semi-finals this season, though. City, the defending champion, knocked out. Now it's Mudryk that's taken a knock to the gut. Postecoglou. A lot of hand signals there on the touchline. Bissouma, I think, has gone into Mudryk from the side. Romero has it. Cross for Van de Ven, playing at left centre back. Sweeping pass out to Son. Needs to get more involved. It's the top scorer Bissouma. Lovely pass to Johnson. Cucurella's back in his left back standard position, but Johnson persevering, chips it in towards the spot, and Gilchrist is there. Bissouma takes it away from Jackson. Square pass out to the right wing. Porro. Bissouma. Back for Porro, but still not much of an angle to get the ball in on the right boot. So Van der Ven now. That's wonderful from Kulusevski. Had the vision. Taken away by Cucurella. And then Petrovic. Long ball. Down from Van der Ven to Sarr. Vicario is usually 99% of the time quite good with his feet. Finds Romero. Pochettino is saying that the reality that they are living is that they've got so many injuries they just simply need to stay positive. Cucurella in a foot race with Johnson. And was sent to the ground and then tried to handle the ball to ensure that it went out, and I guess he would have received a yellow card if he didn't have a foul awarded to him. Postecoglou addressing the lack of focus. He said they fought back against Arsenal, but they need more resilience, and they need that tonight. Can Tottenham bounce back? Not just here this evening at Stamford Bridge, but also their season. On the verge of losing 3 in a row. Free kick Chelsea in their back left pocket. Over the halfway. Met by Jackson. His header goes between Gallagher and Cucurella. Brennan Johnson wins a throw. It's been the story of their first half. Can they trigger something in these final 8 minutes? Looking at the flash score stats, 1.47 the XG for Chelsea. Just 0.04 for Tottenham. Have had nothing. Have looked as potent as a Burnley or a Sheffield United. Need to find the next gear. Badiashile has given a foul on Richarlison, just pulling him off the ball that was bouncing down that right flank, diverting inwards. And Badiashile, 23 years of age, you'd think second year in the Premier League after leaving Monaco, he should know better than that than to give his opposition a free kick. It's about, I'd say, 12 back from the goal line and just outside the penalty area to the right. Porro is lining this up. One in the wall for Chelsea. It's Mudryk. So Johnson trying to cause a bit of chaos in front of the keeper. Need to be tight and committed here, Chelsea, to repel. And what can Tottenham do? To the back post it goes! Oh, that's headed just wide by Christian Romero. He's already scored 5 times this Premier League, looking for goal number 6, and would have been a beautiful half dozen just before the break. Good power behind it, just held his position. Good strength, because Gilchrist got goal side of him. He had the height, and that has maybe shaving that paint of the left post about halfway down. Long goal kick. Petrovic. Van der Ven gets there. Now Gallagher tries to impede Pape Sarr. Good ball from Porro. Back heel was the right idea from Richarlison. Goes beyond Sarr. It's messy out there, but Chelsea trying to soak up the pressure. Now it comes down the left flank. Porro meets the ball before Mudryk. Chested down by Cucurella. Taken by Mudryk, who's become a better player in his second season. 4 goals, 2 assists, and he's getting very deep to help out his backline. Gilchrist. Neat pass. Madueke, a bit messy the way he trapped that, but Cole Palmer, he's been quiet. Uses Madueke on the overlap. Sliding challenge from Emerson Royale. Works out for Madueke. Takes it back towards the corner. He's got the trick stick happening. Rolling it under the feet. And he's getting some applause from the Chelsea faithful. Now Gilchrist. They look organised. It's a cohesive unit tonight, Chelsea. Finding out you don't need to be flamboyant. You just need to be good at ground level. It's always tough to beat Van der Ven and Romero in the air, but they have a headed goal. And there was some disputing over whether Cucurella was impeding Johnson. He was trying to defend on Chalobah at the time. Now Cucurella hacked down. Jackson didn't bring the ball forward because he wants the free kick. 5 minutes to go in this half. Chelsea leading by a goal to nil. We're 10 minutes or so into the European fixtures this evening. Crossing over to them. Atalanta winning away 1-0. Scamacca scoring there. That's goal number 16 for him in all competitions. Roma Bayer Leverkusen. It's an interesting one. A repeat of last year's semi-final in the Europa League is 0-0 at the Stadio Olimpico. And Chelsea have taken this free kick quickly down the left. Mudryk goes inside. Kulusevski will shoot, and that's a rugby conversion. Well over the top. Lost his balance as he hit it. Olympiacos and Aston Villa playing in Birmingham this evening at Villa Park. It's 0-0 at the moment. Also Fiorentina, their leading Club Brugge by a goal to nil. Santil with a goal. So could have a case where it might have Fiorentina in the final and Atalanta, but it's still very early days in these fixtures in Europe. It's two legs, remember. But tonight here, this isn't elimination football. This is all about the Premier League, and 9th beating 5th at this point. But Tottenham want to reply. They've come down the left flank through Heung-min Son. Now the next wave comes. The cavalry. Bissouma laterally around Gallagher. Good diagonal ball. Porro needs a good delivery. Doesn't get one. Gilchrist is there. Son didn't come in centrally. He stayed well out wide. Gilchrist had it taken by Sarr. Good interception by Caicedo. Wins the ball. Centre field. And Jackson does the 270-degree turn. Went down in front of the referee expecting a free kick. He said play on. And Kulusevski will go in for Bissouma. Now he's undecided about where he's going to go. Eventually, the run of Kulusevski frees up space for Johnson to come in at Cucurella. Puts it behind. That'll be another corner for Tottenham. Now this is probably one of their best chances to get on the board in the first half. If they don't, or whether they do or not, Postecoglou is going to rip them 11 new ones at the break. He's an ambitious coach. He wants ambitious players. He needs to be in better form than this. This is a dip in their season at the wrong time. At Tottenham, there's a bit of argy-bargy in the middle. It's a conga line on the penalty spot. They're all going to move in one direction or another. Porro delivers from the right. Well, it was an anticlimax. If you've ever seen one, it went behind everybody, left the 18-yard box, but sent back in. Went to Porro once more, and he has smashed that well long. Directly out for a goal kick. So he needs to get his radar on. There are limited options for both of these coaches off the bench. At this point, that favours Chelsea. Now, it could be a case of a change of formation for Tottenham. They do have Maddison that they could bring in. Also, Lo Celso offers something in midfield, doesn't he? Provides service. Not a prolific goal scorer by any means. He's only got 2 goals this season, and he's never scored more than 9 in a season. That was back at Real Betis. That's why Tottenham went in for him. Started off with Rosario Central, and we'll see if he gets some game time later. I'd say bets are on Maddison to maybe come on at half time. Son being corralled. He's got 2 to beat. Out on the left, did it beautifully and gets the return pass. Richarlison. That was telegraphed, taken away by Chalobah, who is the difference maker so far with 60 seconds to go before we see how much added time we have in the first. Porro into the attacking areas. Tottenham need to get. They've been forced backwards. Cucurella did well in the pass from Bissouma. Eaten up by Gallagher. Used his body language well. Sent Johnson one way and then goes down that left channel. Jackson was nowhere near it. So back from Romero, who's had Tottenham's best opportunity to get on the scoreboard in this half with that header. Son back into their own half. Seconds ticking down. Son made the run, wanted the long ball put over the top, and Romero didn't bother. Now Potter did well to bounce that off Jackson to Bissouma's advantage. Centre circle, Emerson, Bissouma. Oh, they're looking indecisive there. Back for Romero. Need to be better than this, Tottenham. Straight into Mudryk. Now Gallagher, back for Jackson. That's a beautifully weighted first-time pass out for Madueke. No, he won't get there. As it curled away at the last moment. It's 4 minutes of first-half stoppages. So a throw for Tottenham in their left pocket. Current live standings on the flash score up. You can see Chelsea up into 8th, 51 points. They go 2 ahead of West Ham, and they've got another game in hand where they can try and get over Newcastle and into 7th, but Newcastle also have only played 34. But saying that, there's still another half of football here for Chelsea to overcome. Tottenham into the second minute of stoppages. Johnson squares it up, gets the return pass. This is good. It's dangerous. And there's a shot from Pape Sarr that goes wide. I think it's come off Chalobah there. So not only scoring the goal, he left his position. Now, did he put Pape Sarr off, or did he get the final touch? Either way, yeah, it's definitely come off Chalobah. It came off his chest. That was being turned towards Georgi Petrovic. Congratulations from Cucurella coming straight away. So it's a team that know how much each individual challenge means. It's a 1%er, but it came off. So often you see those hit a hand and there's a penalty given. But Chelsea, luck favouring the brave this evening. Is taken short from the right side by Tottenham. Kulusevski lays it back for Potter. Needs to be better this time. Or the volley was being teed up by Son. The header takes it away. Mudryk to the left wing for Tottenham, where they'll have another dice. But Son was ready to plough his left boot through the ball from a tight angle to the left of goal. I'd say 5 metres back from the touchline. Now the throw has been well defended by Chelsea. Van der Ven can send it back down that left flank. Now Gallagher in a 50-50 loses out to Pape Sarr. Johnson will try again. Oh, that's well watched by Djordjevic. Took a deflection from Cucurella, that cross, and that was harrowing into that near side. And Johnson receiving from Porro. He's been much better at ground level tonight, Pedro Porro. And Johnson trying to locate Richarlison at the left post. That went canninging off Cucurella. And Djordjevic luckily watched that. He got it with 2 hands. Sent downfield into the last minute now. Long ball. Route 1 this time from Spurs. It'll just sit in. Well shepherded by Cucurella. You'd have to say has been one of the better Chelsea players. There's been a few good ones, but he has been everywhere. He hasn't made an error, you'd think, so far, which is uncharacteristic according to most Chelsea fans that I know. Pochettino, his 400th game of English football, 293 of those as a Tottenham manager. So he's here to try and make it all unravel for his former employer. Long ball sent down from Petrovic. It'll be a throw. Mudryk will take. Van der Ven got there, and Vicario can't stop that from going for another corner. There should be a few seconds enough for this to be taken from the left side. And that is the dedication shown by Mickey van der Ven. A big frame on the Dutchman. First year since leaving Werder Bremen. Started off with Volendam in the Eredivisie. Do cover some of the Dutch league, PSV and Ajax. For those of you who are fans, make sure you check that out. You'll see the headphones icon next to each game that has an audio commentator. In it comes from the left, and it was Gilchrist that flashes it off his head and across past the right post. That should be the final action of the first half here at Stamford Bridge. It is Chelsea leading Tottenham by a goal to 0, and it is the centre-back, Trevor Chalobah, his first goal of the campaign. He's the difference maker so far. The header coming in the 24th minute. Good free kick from Gallagher. It did go to VAR for a possible check of a foul and offside and the rest of it, but it stood, and that is what separates the two sides in this London derby. We'll be back in about 10 to 12 minutes' time for the second half. Set piece taken by Gallagher, and good header put across the face of Vicario into the top right of the goal. We're about to get going for the second half. Tottenham would have received a spray from their Australian coach. They're renowned for that at the half-time break. No changes, though, as they kick us off going right to left in the second half. And Emerson waited for Madueke to come towards him. Took a hit. He came in at full force. Did Madueke. The Brazilian is up. Take a hit to the gut. Drop ball from the referee. And away Tottenham go once more, and on the verge of losing 3 straight games. They lost 3-2 to Arsenal last time out. Romero and Son with the goals. They trailed by 3-0, and a lot of criticism, not just from Tottenham supporters, as Richarlison finds Kulusevski in the middle, and again it's blocked. This time Caicedo has been rock solid in the midfield all evening. Romero will go down the right side, and Johnson has the run of Pape Sarr to the byline. Good cross, and it's fumbled by Petrovic, but it came off his hands and skewed out towards the touchline, luckily for Chelsea. Now Son can't weave in between Gilchrist and Madueke. Gilchrist hacks it long. Jackson takes a tumble, and Van der Ven gets away with it. It's a tough game to prognosticate from here. Tottenham look as though they've come out with a different mindset in the second half. Son now will get the ball over the top of the goal. It took a touch on the way through, so that'll be a corner. His cross deviating in from that left side, but before that was Pape Sarr, who sizzled one into the 6-yard box, and Petrovic got there. Was never going to take that and catch it. So in the end, a good outcome for the Serbian goalkeeper to push it over towards the touchline. Luckily for him, no one in a white shirt coming through at the left post. But for now, it's Tottenham with a corner from the right side. 3rd minute of the second half we go into. Van der Ven is forward, Richarlison, Romero, and again it's that conga line. They need the rhythm to get a goal. Cucurella trying to push back out the other way. It's come off Gallagher, and Cucurella did get a knock here. He's holding his face, so I think a free kick's going Chelsea's way. That is a poor outcome for Tottenham. It's Van der Ven who shoved Cucurella to the ground. It was scripted. It was always going to be Cucurella hitting the ground, and that is a big win for Chelsea. As I said just before the half-time break, Cucurella is one of the best players out there. Heavily criticised since leaving Brighton for such a big figure. No goals, just the 1 assist this term, but 2nd year since leaving the southern parts of England. Now here's a long ball put straight down the guts. It's route 1. Van der Ven sprints back to take it away from Jackson over the touchline. Left side throw for Chelsea. Mudryk will leave it for Cucurella. That's their left side. Mudryk has been playing at left back for much of it because Cucurella has been omnipresent. Back from Chalobah has been a much better defender than Badiashile, and at times has been caught out. Now the switch came towards Madueke. He ran into trouble. Gives away the foul. Emerson will take this on the halfway line, left side. And again Bissouma scoots away from Palmer. Jackson. Oh, there's a tumble in midfield, and that is Caicedo. Put his body on the line, won it back for his side, and now it's cleared by Petrovic. All the way over, so Romero can scoop it back up for Vicario. Have to be careful. Vicario off his line. They don't want to give it away, and they have. It's Mudryk. Vicario's back now. It's a poor delivery into the middle for Jackson. Guillermo Vicario getting that, and they will go out to the left now, but that is a danger sign for Tottenham. They do not look as good as what they did in 2023. Harry Kane's gone. Goal scoring responsibilities have been shared since then. Kane scoring in the mid-30s now in the Bundesliga. Still a couple of games to go there, and of course he scored in the Champions League on Tuesday night against Real Madrid. We brought you that game. Cucurella, his pass intercepted by Bissouma. Tight spaces. Down the right side tilt for Tottenham in the attacking half, but they are happy just to have ball at feet. Now the switch comes. Bissouma, that is nice to see. Son running in towards Gilchrist. Interesting duel. It's a shove into the back of Son. That is Gilchrist giving away a free kick in a relatively dangerous area. 3 yards back from the goal line. And it's... let's see, how far outside the box is it? About 5 yards. 5 minutes gone. Tottenham have been sprightly since coming out from the dressing room. They looked ordinary in that first half. Tempo of the game has changed. And the intent by the teams, both of them are desperate for a win. Just one win here for Tottenham since 1990. 33 Premier League games, 38 games overall. They have come here. Just the one win in 2018. We'll have a look at that in the flash score head-to-heads after this set piece is taken by Porro. So will he go direct at goal from here? It's about 22 yards away from Djordjevic. So they're calling him down in Fulham, Chelsea. Porro hits it, and Petrovic stayed at home. Chested down by Bissouma. And it was Caicedo pouring forward in big numbers. Chelsea. There's a tidal wave of blue, and they've won it back. It's taken down the left flank quickly. Van der Ven and also Porro and Kulusevski trying to get back. It's a cross for Cole Palmer, and he has put that over the top of the goal. Hit it first time and leant back into it as it reached him just outside the line of the right post. He curled it on the left over the top of the left corner. And that was unselfish play. Good presence of mind there from Madueke. Well over the top of the bar, about 1.5 meters from Cole Palmer. Disappointing for Pochettino and the fans here. They've been relying on Palmer. What would they do without him? And the likes of Gallagher in that midfield, they'd probably be in that bottom half of the table. 20 goals from Palmer. Now it's Tottenham coming through the near post. Richarlison, and he was tagged nicely, and it was Badiashile just trying to keep him away from goal. The delivery was decent from Kulusevski. Now from that corner on the left side, it's a smart delivery, but it goes out for another Tottenham throw. So out the right side this time. Need to get it together. Some cohesion required. Nothing phenomenal required. Just a path to goal. Enough space to have a crack from outside. Not too far away. Chelsea can crumble at times. We saw that against Manchester United, but they were able to show a bit of resilience, and that's what Postecoglou said before the game. He wants Tottenham to show that. They're down, just as they were on the weekend. Son. And again, he's put down. It's good awareness by the referee to see that from that angle. Taken square, 40 yards away from Petrovic's goal. Romero saw Son, first time ball. Was he offside? Yes, the flag goes up. Haven't seen too many offsides in this game. Linesman called upon. Just missing that cutting edge in the final third. Nothing devastating about this Tottenham side, is there? Not in this kind of form. Technically gifted, but Chelsea, you would think, being at home, there'd be a 50-50 chance to win this game. And they have been much the better side. A through ball straight down the middle, straight down the corridor. Vicario comes out, gets there first, and they'll work it up slowly with Bissouma. Porro on the right side. Now, according to the Chelsea players, that ball went out. Instead, it's delivered towards Richarlison. Badiashile's there. Gets it on the second go. Chip it forward. He was hoping that would come off the Tottenham striker, and then it's definitely come off Johnson from Cucurella. So a Chelsea throw in their back left pocket. And what can Tottenham do to change the course of this game? Højbjerg Lo Celso, Maddison, Skip, Bentancur, Gil. Decent substitutes. You need something up forward. Gil can do a job on the left side of attack if they want to push him high. Lo Celso, Maddison maybe for Kulusevski. Might be a case of bringing Richarlison out and pushing Son into the central striker role. Richarlison has not done much. Now Johnson will get on the end of this Chelsea goal kick and win a throw down the right flank, and again he's outnumbered. He had to just chip it into an opponent and hope for the best. 10 minutes gone. Chelsea have come away with it through Cole Palmer. No, it's called back. Otherwise it looked as though they were in transition with Jackson. So Romero squares this up. Emerson in the centre circle. It's simple from Kulusevski, but not effective enough. Now the ball from Bissouma. That's nice. Out to the right wing. Poto tried to go through the legs of Cucurella. It's Johnson now. And Cucurella has won that again, has he? That is some scintillating form from him. Haven't seen that for a while. But everything he touches is it's a good outcome. I want to say turns to goal, but it is Cucurella we're talking about. Stamford Bridge, second half, 1-0 Chelsea. And Tottenham haven't had much. Let's look at the stats. No changes at the break. Now Chelsea can get forward in transition. Madueke can run onto this. Emerson tracking back and winning that. He tried to go around him and towards goal in from the right side. Now Romero, Kulusevski, his former side Parma. Spent a couple of successful seasons there before going to Juventus. They have been brought back up. They've gained promotion from Serie B Parma. Into the attacking half. Spurs will switch it up. Gilchrist watched it onto his head. Put it up high enough to give Madueke a chance against Son, who hits the afterburners. Oh, he's flawed on the way through, but there's no foul. He lost possession beforehand. Kulusevski then went through too. Gilchrist is a no-nonsense defender, has pumped that into the stands. Carefree but not careless from Gilchrist. One intention, and that is to stop Son. Now Sarr in from the right side. Johnson, he located Richarlison, was unmarked but couldn't get it through. There were three players to try and thread it from the right half space over to the left post for Richarlison, and he's still unsighted on goal. Best chance has been the Romero header. Could have started in calamitous fashion for Tottenham. Could have been down 1-0 before Chalobah's goal, when it was just simple from Chelsea coming down the left side. Mudryk putting through Jackson, hit the ball, but it smacked Vicario's leg on the way and took a bit of the pace out of the shot. Van de Ven got back on the line, was able to clear, but straight into Cole Palmer, sitting there in front of the goal unmarked, but it came off his boot and skewed off the top. Now back in for Kulusevski. Again, Chelsea clear. It's a one-on-one, but Van de Ven had better sight. Heads it forward. Mudryk, Gallagher swarming in. Steele, Tottenham come away. Oh, it's that tactic from Bissouma. Try to put it to Son again, but Gilchrist. Now it's Madueke. Shakes off the challenge. Palmer into the attacking third. In from the right side. Fools Emerson. Wants to shoot. Did shoot, but it's skewed straight into Van de Ven, and Palmer wants to let it run. That'll be a Chelsea throw. It looks a little more out of petrol this evening than normal, Cole Palmer. Big workload when young players are coming in and adjusting to the big time. Luckily for Chelsea, no European obligations, so it's not as if they're playing every 3 days. Now Palmer back on the ball, puts it out to the right wing. 15 yards back from the goal line. Madueke into the middle. This is dangerous. Wants to go all the way. Then he tried to tee it up for Cole Palmer. Why wouldn't you? That's unselfish once more. It's not the first time that Madueke has had that presence of mind. Gallagher's given away a cheap foul. Half an hour to go. Chelsea leading by just the one goal. Romero back to Vicario. Thought about it. Went to Van de Ven. Have to think 3 passes in advance in today's systems. And that's Emerson, who ran into a good central area. Madueke went shoulder to shoulder and out-muscled him. Found Gallagher. Palmer didn't bother running in towards that empty space that Emerson was struggling to defend. It's a balanced approach from Chelsea. Nothing hot-headed from them. That's given away. Good hustle from Pape Sarr. Now Johnson. He's got 2. He's got Son and he's got Richarlison, but he's pushed out wide by Badiashile. Now Sarr once more. The run from Porto. It's pushed away by Petrovic. Again, Tottenham looking. Son with his back to goal. Sarr on the right side. Again, it fizzles out for Tottenham. Porto and Sarr looking to manufacture something here. Here's Son on the opposite side. It's surely offside against Johnson. In any case, Chelsea push it back to halfway. Try that switch once more. Kulusevski was never going to get there. Gilchrist in the way. Now Pape Sarr starting to impose himself in this game. Johnson. 5 goals, 7 assists this season. Can he inspire them? Here's Sarr. Oh, it's a poor attempt. He tried to flick it up for himself on the edge of the box. He did make some contact. Otherwise it was a fresh air kind of shot. There's a long-range effort. It's a shot in anger from Emerson Royal. They had to have a go, and it's gone wide and high to the left. Double change coming. Tottenham Hotspur. So Maddison will come on. There's a triple change, in fact. Ange Postecoglou's seen enough. Bentancur. He'll come on for Pape Sarr. And Maddison for Richarlison. Wasn't his night, was it, the Brazilian? 10 goals this season, but nothing tonight. He's hardly had a touch. Son's gone in central. Johnson over to the left now. Maddison runs that way. Son receives. There's a good approach. Højbjerg, who's come on. Again, he shot from about 25 yards. It was tame and down low, easy for Petrovic. Always linked with the move, isn't it? Højbjerg in for game number 33. Doesn't start many. Danish midfielder at the time. Now Cucurella hacked down. Jackson didn't bring the ball forward because he wants the free kick. 5 minutes to go in this half. Chelsea leading by a goal to 0. We're 10 minutes or so into the European. Just looking at those stats, Tottenham in front 57% to 43 now in the second half. It's 70 to 30 in their favour. And Chelsea have given away a foul. It's a good time for Tottenham to try and get on top. Badiashile has been spoken to by referee Robert Jones. This was Maddison on the turn. Hands in the back from Badiashile. And down the right side, Bentancur in pursuit, but Badiashile gets it over the line. So from the right side, Tottenham with a throw 15 yards back from the right corner. taken short. Bentancur and Pedro Porro win another one. So second half starts. The shots are 6-2 in Spurs' favour, on target at 2-0. A lot of the ball with them, and Chelsea fans here, it would be devastating to their season if they draw this one. It's a precarious situation because it's not often that they can win games 1-0. They usually go out there and either get hammered or score a few. They have conceded only fewer goals in Sheffield United and Burnley of late. Scored a lot more goals than everyone else except for City. Now Johnson in from the left into Gilchrist, his cross. Back for Bentancur, then Bissouma. First time pass, couldn't locate Maddison, who wears the number 10. Needs to play like one this evening. Kulusevski was named there as Johnson comes back in, and Gilchrist puts it behind. That'll be another corner, left side. Simply need to find a way through. 67th minute of the game at 1-0 to Chelsea. James Maddison with an opportunity. Needs to play himself back into form. Try and make the England side as well. Sends it in central. Good header away from Badiashile. Chested down. Van der Ven had the ball taken away. Blocked by Cucurella. Jackson. Oh, that's a cynical foul from Van der Ven. That's got to be a yellow card. Probably more out of frustration that he thought he was going to belt one towards Petrovic and the Chelsea goal. And the conspiracy against the Chelsea players. They took the ball off him and surged away. It was almost in slow motion. Jackson, I think he invited that contact from behind. So Van der Ven, if you have a look at the flash score stats, it's his 4th yellow card of the season. No, not a dirty player by any stretch. Did get 5 last year at Wolfsburg. Got 5 once in Volendam. Looks a good player. A €40 million transfer from Wolfsburg. And here he is on the ball. Headers the ball back towards his own goal line. Finds Emerson. It's up to Højbjerg. Squares it up for Vicario. Can find space. Romero took the ball away from Gallagher. Now here they come. Straight down the guts of the field. It's Bentancur. Good flick on. Now Son has to choose one way or the other. Picks Johnson. And it needed to go in from Emerson, who slid in at the right post. And he's gone maybe just a little late. The slide. That was their moment. Does have one goal in this season. It might have been discounted for Heung-min Son. Maybe a fraction offside in the build-up. Johnson's ball perhaps was better off going for goal. Long goal kick taken down the right flank for Chelsea. In comes Caicedo, 100 miles an hour, wins it back for Gallagher. Good double pivot in there tonight for Pochettino. Now Chalobah could be hailed as the hero. He's caught out here, was able to atone for his error, flicked it back towards Badiashile to take it from Kulusevski and Son. It would have been a 2-on-1 with Badiashile and Petrovic. Son used his body to shield possession beautifully. It's excellent from the South Korean. Now Johnson. Good commitment from Tottenham. Good response in the second half. This is the resilience that Postecoglou wants to see. The switch out to the left as they work their way. They're toiling away. Here's Maddison. He did put it on the toe. Kulusevski didn't reach him. And he's fouled Gallagher. That's a disappointing conclusion. The other substitution that came in was Rodrigo Bentancur. He's been around. Uruguayan midfielder. His 3rd season since leaving Juventus. Started off with Boca Juniors. His journey, 21 million euros from Boca to Juventus. Then they lost a bit of money on him. Sold him for 19 to get him to Tottenham. All the information on the Flash Score app. Now Madueke can't get away from Emerson. Wins a throw though. 25 back from the right corner flag. Attacking half Chelsea. He'll leave this to patient approach. He wanted to take it quickly, then realised they need to slow it down. They need to keep the ball away from Tottenham, who've had so much of it in the second half. Second half stats. It's well, you can juxtapose that against the first half and see 70% of the ball with Tottenham, 6 goal attempts to 2. It's basically what we saw from Chelsea in the first. Now Tottenham have a situation where they've given away a free kick. Cucurella has taken a hit here from Kulusevski. Directly in front, I'd say about 30 yards away. Now a little wider than this. This is how they got their first goal of the game, or the only goal. This time it should be a direct hit from Mudryk or Gallagher or Palmer. It's a fairly central location. Not dead centre, about a metre to the right of centre. Vicario looking a little worried. The perfect distance if you want to get it up and over the wall and then dip it. Right back, Cole Palmer on the left boot. In fact, it is Palmer! Oh, it's off the bar. That was wonderful. Vicario was nowhere near it, and the header comes and ends up in the back of the net despite 2 Tottenham players getting back on the line. It is a goal that comes for 2-0, and it is indeed Nicholas Jackson. 11th for him. It was in slow motion, the way that ball went in. Tottenham hurt from another set piece. So Palmer with an exquisite free kick off the bar. Vicario in no man's land. He was still on the ground by the time it was headed. Højbjerg and Son tried to keep that from going in. Jackson's header looped over the pair from about 10 yards in line with the right post, angled that over to the left side of the goal where Vicario wasn't stationed. Intelligence required by the Senegalese striker over the top of Son and Højbjerg, who almost were in competition, pushing each other out of the road to get there. One of them needed to get a foot in the air to try and keep that out. Not sure either of them could have, even if they had a clear route to that ball. And that is enough to light the spark here at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea with a 2-goal cushion. It is all unravelling. Big chance for a response here. From the kickoff, it was Johnson at the back post. Now, simple football is often the best. Maddison dummied. Højbjerg sent it across to Johnson, but he got there first time, and that is the finish of a defender. A right back, right in front of goal. He has hit the turf with his boot. Trying to be nice here. It's the shocking finish. And went wide as well. They needed the instant response. It's going to be an instant change for Chelsea with Mykhailo Mudryk coming out, and it is the Italian Cazadei. So with that, it's Chelsea's first change of the day. Calling him the Italian wonder kid. So Mykhailo Mudryk out. Reasonable performance out there. Didn't add to his 4 goals or 2 assists for the season. 5 years at Shakhtar Donetsk. Second season overall. I think it's probably 18 months since he's left. Big money move for him at Cazadei for game number 8. First usage off the bench for Pochettino. So Cazorla, recalled by Chelsea, 21 years of age. He was on loan at Leicester City. Got 2 goals in 22 appearances there. Came through the Inter Milan ranks before Chelsea signed him. You can see a 15 million euro transfer in 2022. Went to Reading, got a goal in 15 appearances, and now let's see what he can do for the remainder of this game. Did get a second half appearance, just the 1 or 2 minutes against Aston Villa. Got a dozen or so against Arsenal in that 5-0 hammering. And did come on also, just in contrast, a 6-0 win over Everton. Still no goals, no assists as Jackson. Good run down the middle, dispossessed by Højbjerg, and Tottenham will come down the right flank. Porto. Central one from Son. Something aimless about Tottenham right now as Kulusevski jinking, can't get around Cucurella. Did come off the Chelsea left back, and that'll be a quarter. 77th minute we go into. Maddison going over to help him from the right side. It'll be left for Maddison to take here. So Chelsea will do themselves well if they can resist. Tottenham need a reply. 2 goals down. Maddison putting it back. Hit the flag, it rolled away. Good delivery. Van der Ven attacked it. So did Gallagher. Goes back out to that right side. Kulusevski with nowhere to go. He's being hustled by Caicedo. Another cross comes in. Takes a touch, and Romero went down. High contact. The referee, well, he said play on here, and Madueke's ball went directly out. Needed to put it over the top for Jackson. But Romero is still down, clutching his face. Out comes Petrovic, and Johnson goes to him, and now it's Moises Caicedo and Badiashile standing over him. It's Cazorla in that challenge. So a hairy moment for the Italian that's just come on. A delay in the game. The referee will be getting a little bit of advice here from Hawkeye and VAR. Having a look at the Conference League, Villa losing at home to Olympiacos 2-1. Won't do their UEFA Association coefficient any help. So a change coming as Fiorentina lead Club Brugge 2-1 as well. We'll go to the Europa League in a moment as Brennan Johnson comes out for Gil. Hasn't been Johnson's night. Hasn't been anyone's night. Has it in a white shirt. Now Emerson did well to take it back away from Madueke. Gil, his first involvement. Emerson on the overlap. Into the middle it goes, and as Georgi Petrovic dives over the ball like it's diving over a grenade, making sure it's safe. And now he's ushering everyone forward. 79th minute of the game at 2-0. Chelsea over Tottenham. Catch-up game. Technically, you could call this match day 34 for them. It's a good punt forward. Jackson slid. The challenge of Van der Ven had to be millimetre perfect, and was. And Højbjerg, good vision, good peripheral vision. They've got some space between the lines. Porto puts it forward, didn't have enough on it to set Kulusevski in behind. He crosses. Gil will have to go out and collect. Højbjerg arrives to help out. 20 yards back from the goal line. Now 30. Back for Gil. And with the back heel to put it through for Emerson, who's out of position. Plenty of space to be attacked here, but out comes Vicario. He realised Emerson was not in the right place on the pitch, so Vicario got there. Otherwise Jackson was through. That's all Tottenham need, is a 3-0 deficit to try and overcome. They had that against Arsenal. They got 2, so it's not beyond them to get something from this game. Still, it's Chelsea up into 8th with this. Looking at the live standings as Gil puts it back to Højbjerg. Back out to Gil. Looks like There's not much on for him. It's well marshalled by Madueke and Palmer and Caicedo. There's nothing there for Maddison, so they'll try with Romero. He's 40 away over on the right side. They need to get numbers in the box. They've got to throw something at Chelsea here. It's a side that's lacking consistency. They need to get them and get them now. Højbjerg, Maddison. He'll try the cross. There's nobody there at all at the back post. Not the right ball for Maddison. Son was attacking the near post at the left. And it's another really poor delivery. Tottenham will stay in 5th, but it gives a little bit of incentive for Manchester United to try and mow them down. Still 6 points behind, even if Tottenham lose this. Just looking at the head-to-heads. If you look at that column on the Flash Score app, you can see the last few games for each side. It's not been good for either of them. Chelsea haven't won in 4 games, on the verge of breaking that winless run. 1-0 loss to City, 5-0 loss to Arsenal, 2-2 draw with Villa. But Tottenham losing to Newcastle 4-0. And then, of course, in the North London derby, losing at home to Arsenal is a bit more of a slap in the face, as I'll try again through Maddison. Squares this up for Højbjerg. Very, very deep, though, trying to box Chelsea in. It'll come for Bentancur, back for Porro. No way through, so it'll be squared up once more. Emerson Royal out to the left. It's Gil. Got Madueke to get through. Took him on and was pushed over. And there wasn't enough in that to give Tottenham a free kick. That is a massive win for Noni Madueke. Still riding on the high of scoring a goal against Aston Villa on the weekends. As it stands, Tottenham 7 points away from Villa, but with 1 game in hand. They needed to win here. And then again, just to get within a point of Aston Villa and give that Champions League push a bit more momentum. Long ball down the pitch from Djordjevic. Now back from Gallagher. He's playing on the left side. Over the top, it's a nothing ball. Out comes Vicario. So Vicario out of his area. If Tottenham give it up now, Chelsea can chip him. It's about 40 yards off his line. And they have given it away, but it's in the Chelsea defensive half. And Gallagher had to turn back to his own keeper, Petrovic, who will lash it long, directly out of play. 7 minutes to go, time ticking away. Just looking at the recent head-to-heads between these two clubs, if you scroll down to 2018, it's the last time that Chelsea lost here at home to Tottenham. For now, they've got a break in play. They'll come forward. There's still 5-on-2 in Tottenham's favour. Palmer out to Jackson. It's come off Bentancur. Chelsea throw. So just going to that game, it was matchday 32, English Premier League 2017-18. And Chelsea led through Alvaro Morata in the 30th minute. Then it was Eriksen to make it 1-1 at the break. Dele Alli made it 2-1, 3-1 by the 66th minute. There's the last time that they won. It was 2 very different looking sides, with Caballero in goal for Chelsea. I'll just go through those sides because Gilchrist is getting treatment for an injury here at Stamford Bridge. Christensen, Azpilicueta, Rudiger, Alonso, Kante, Fabregas, who is now on the bench at Como as one of the assistant coaches, Moses, Willian, Hazard, Morata. And then for Tottenham, well, Son is still there. It was Lodis, Sanchez, Vertonghen, Davis, Trippier, Dyer, Dembele, Ali, Lamela, Eriksen and Son. Those are the starting 11s. Harry Kane off the bench that day, Sissoko and Wanyama, with Emerson Palmieri, Giroud and Hudson-Odoi for Chelsea. And that day the coaches were Pochettino for Tottenham, Conte for Chelsea. So Gilchrist is coming off here, and it is a chance for the number 63. And forgive me if I get this wrong, this surname. It is Josh Achiompong, 17 years old. And for him, it is a big moment. It's a milestone. It's his debut in the Premier League. So congratulations to teenage Josh Achiompong. He's in for Chelsea. He's had a few games for the under-18s and under-21s. 11 in total with 1 goal in the under-18s. So just the occasion to bring him on at 2-0 ahead. A few minutes to go. We're back underway, and that was Caicedo that was pushed over by Bentancur. Maddison did the rest from the front. And also there's been a change for Tottenham. It is Lo Celso. He comes on for Emerson Royal. So with that foul on Caicedo, it's Chelsea. A similar situation to how they got their first goal. They've already scored 2 from set pieces. Chance for a third. This is to the right of the box, about 23 yards back from the goal line, 5 yards from the box. Palmer, Gallagher are the 2 options. Just one in the wall is Gill. It'll be Palmer to hit it. Goes directly at goal. It's a fingertip pushover by Vicario. I think at best it would have hit the top of the bar and gone over, but you can't take any risks at this point. It's high stakes football, and was always clearing the bar, but Vicario wasn't, to be sure. Could have dipped, and it doesn't want to concede a third, does he? So over from the left side of the pitch, with Chelsea cruising here. Gallagher will deliver this on the right boot. It'll in-swing towards Vicario. It's taken short. Palmer's there. Took 2 defenders away. Gallagher trying to waste a bit of time here. A little bit early for that, but Palmer will be sent back to the byline, and he'll let it go. A little bit of gamesmanship as well. Probably trying to get a little bit of a psychological advantage. It's always tough in a London derby. It doesn't matter which team you are, whether you're Palace or West Ham or one of these two. So Tottenham have had a horror run of visits to Stamford Bridge, just the 1 win. As I said before, back in 2018, it was Conte over Pochettino. Pochettino switched allegiances and will ensure Tottenham make it just 1 win in their last 39 visits in all competitions, unless something changes. Chelsea looking the more likely to get the third. Palmer had it taken away by Bentancur on the right wing. So Højbjerg dancing away, finds Lo Celso. Where's the number 18? It's the 5th change for Postecoglou. Left wing with Bentancur and Lo Celso. Good dish off from Maddison. Son back for Maddison. He was hacked down by Caicedo. Surely that has to be a free kick. Referee has paid advantage. Son wants to get a move on. Thought about shooting. Left for Bentancur, but it rolls towards that bottom left corner, and getting down is Petrovic quite comfortably. Celso in for game number 19. 2 goals, 2 assists this term. He's back after a spell at Villarreal. It's his 2nd stint at Tottenham. Started off with Rosario Central and PSG. Robertis, now 2nd Premier League stint with the same club. Was linked with Napoli. So was Højbjerg in January. Now there's been a challenge from Badiashile. It's on Son. And again, the advantage paid. Tottenham with 30 seconds to go in the 90. Bentancur, that's good movement. He finds Gill. He's all alone. Bentancur back in, and he needed to at least test Petrovic from 6 yards. Instead, he squared it up. And again, it's unselfish, but you need to go a goal when you're 2 down. They've won a corner. It's put behind by Gallagher. And Lo Celso receives that in from Maddison. Now he squares that up. Needs someone at that left post. Son's there. Then Lo Celso took it away. Did that go into an arm there of Chalobah? The corner comes back from Maddison. Goes over the top, but it took a touch. So another corner. Good spell of pressure from Tottenham. First time hit there. Came off Caicedo, who has been a brick in the wall this evening. Højbjerg will try and put this in. That's a lovely delivery. It'll find its way to Højbjerg, but again a Chelsea body in the way. No way through, says Achiampong. Almost effortless is the defending, but Tottenham unable to find half a yard apart from Maddison's shot, and even that hit a player. So they're staying narrow, Chelsea, sending Tottenham to the flanks, and it's all about the delivery. They're not able to execute and optimize that kind of strategy, get a tilt going. It's an even spread, in all fairness. Now Chelsea, as Jackson is have it taken away by Bentancur, and they've got numbers here. Wouldn't call it an overload. It's 5-on-5 out to the right half space. Son's there, then Bentancur went first time in line with the right post, tucked it about 1.5 meters wide of that. Haven't seen much from Kazade. Seen a good bit of defending from Achiampong. Where's the number 63 for those of you who are interested in acquiring your own Chelsea shirt with his name on it? He's making his debut tonight, and wouldn't it be something you could get on the score sheet? Debut and a debut goal as the Tottenham fans start to trickle out from Stamford Bridge. They've been doing it for a few minutes. A put down long from Petrovic from this goal kick. Kazade leapt the highest. Good vertical leap from him. Good experience for him to get minutes. Came on from Mudryk, so he's on the left side of this Chelsea midfield at the moment. It's Petrovic, Chalobah, Badiashile. Then it's Achiampong in at right back. Cucurella still at left. Gallagher, Caicedo, Palmer, Madueke, Kazade, Jackson. Now it's Maddison that will let fly, and it's probably in need of 3 goals. That's how high it went. Drove it from about 23 yards, you'd say, directly in front. But desperate times into the 3rd minute of stoppages. We've got 6 of those. Player of the match has been awarded to Trevor Chalobah. It's been communicated through. 24th minute goal got Chelsea off to a brilliant start in that first half. A set piece where Cucurella was all important to make sure Johnson didn't have a path to defend against the Chelsea number 14. Nicholas Jackson making it 2-0 at 72nd minute mark. Can have another change. And will be indeed Nicholas Jackson. So a chance for a young Finn to come in. Jimmy Turiainen. A lot of good Finnish strikers around. Poyampalo with Venezia is outstanding. 49 is his number coming in. And for Turiainen, it's his debut as well. So what a time for Pochettino to give some of these youngsters a few minutes. Immediately goes over his head. A pass for Gil up against Achiampong, who anticipated where Gil was going. Won it back, sends it long. It's a good ball forward. Out comes Vicario, chests it down. This is dangerous. He's done it so casually to find Lo Celso, and Højbjerg can mount another attack as it's his last chance for Gil to find a teammate across. That's Caicedo putting his body in the way, as though he's saving a kid from a bus there. That's how desperate he was to get in the way of that cross. From out wide as well. Corner. Maddison goes short. Gil needs to find the height to get it through. It might have hit an arm. Chelsea defenders looking a little worried. Tottenham appealing. Vicario is at halfway now. 60 seconds to go of the 6 minutes allotted. It's a minimum of 6. Cucurella been outstanding.